I grew up without Wi-Fi.
I grew up without privacy.
We didn't talk about mental health.
We post about it daily.
We met people in real life.
We swipe. Two generations. One mic. No filter.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of
Across the Gap. Welcome back to our podcast.
Yes, I'm Mama Yeti, and this is.
Nika.
So, what are we talking about today?
So, is music better now or back then?
I don't think we should say is music better now or back then. I just think that we should say the differences that m- music, music has evolved over
Mhm.
time,
Mhm.
and I think it's what music used to what music was then is different from what music is now. If I can explain, or maybe when we discuss, you begin to understand what I mean.
Okay.
hmm
So, how do you feel about music back in the days? Because me, I listen to. I think I've come from an era of listening to your kind of music,
Old school.
old school, like really, really old school, and then listening to music during like the millennial times, and then listening to like Gen Z music.
Dance music, yes.
So I've really, I've cut across the gap. Basically, I've cut across the gap. Gone.
Thanks to mommy, because I used to play old school in my car when I used to drop them off in school, and they didn't listen to anything else, so they grew up loving old school.
Yes, so we listen to a lot of old school. Even with our uncles, they listen to a lot of rap music, a lot of hip hop music. So we grew up listening to all genres of music.
Yeah, they did, and I think that makes you appreciate music a bit more because you're able
Yeah.
when you listen to all genre of music. I mean, if I mention like Nina Simone now, she knows who Nina Simone is.
Yep, I know.
If I mention Queen, she knows who Queen is. And yet there's some people who are within her age bracket that they've never heard of them before. I remember I was at a party and I mentioned Shalama, and
Shalama?
yes,
I don't know who that is.
Yes, and I was shocked, and I was like, but the music that has grown over. I mean, you have covers of this music. They've changed it. It has evolved, and yet you listen to them now, and you don't realize that there's songs that were sung in the past and they've been
Sampled.
rejigged.
Yeah. But that's what music really is. For a lot, like a lot of even across even your age too, a lot of music was sampled. Music has always been sampled.
Yeah, music has always been sampled, but then I think some of the kind of music music was always meant to, be an emotional thing. It's supposed to evoke something in you. But then when I was growing up, we also had music that spoke about what was going on within the society, and nowadays we don't have that anymore. I mean, you can listen to like Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday's song, there was one particular song that she sang that was like Strange Fruit, and that Strange Fruit was talking about racism, and and it resonated with that time. Then you have people like Bob Dylan talking about the Vietnam Wars.
But do you think because back then a lot of things was happening at that time?
No. I don't think back then a lot of things were happening at that time. We had Fela. Fela was talking about was a social critic.
He was a social critic. He used to talk about,
and his songs were about society and what was.
yeah.
I mean, there's no song that Fela sang that did not talk about the
things
society
that
we
was
lived
going
on,
on within the
and whether things
society.
that were wrong within the
Yeah,
society.
that's true, Sha.
Now,
That's
the
true.
only person I think that actually sings like that maybe is Burna Boy.
But he has kind of digressed.
Well, I
He
don't.
has. I like Burna Boy, but he has digressed.
Okay.
He's no longer singing about society anymore. I don't think there's an artist
Of
like
your genre now,
of my generation.
of your genre. Okay.
I don't think there's an artist right now that sings about what's going on in the world, or like in Africa, not Nigerian artist
Yeah. Okay.
that sings about what's going on in Nigeria.
Because it doesn't bring,
Doesn't sell,
it doesn't
mommy.
sell. Yes.
Doesn't sell.
And most times the Nigerian Afrobeat is about beats. It's about the beats itself, about the how danceable the music is.
Well, the name coined Afro beat.
Beats. Yeah, I understand, but then at the same time, Fela started with. I mean, I would call Fela the father of Afrobeat.
He is the father of
Yes,
Afrobeat.
right. And he sang. I mean, even though his songs were danceable. You know, you
Mhm.
could dance to his
I
songs.
like his songs.
Yeah, and
I just still listen to his songs.
they were talking about social things that were wrong with our society. So I really don't know where our where things went wrong. Let me put it that
Where
way.
things went wrong. What do you
Yes,
mean? I just feel like times have evolved
yeah, the times have
and
evolved, but
people are more creative with their music. There's more creativity with their music.
the music has always been
Being
creative.
creative.
Music is creativity. Now you
Well,
find
music is
how many
creative.
artists of today can play a musical instrument?
A lot of them. Most of them grew up in church. So
How many artists
most of them
can play
play
a
most
musical?
of them play music. Most of them can play music instrument because they grew up in church. Techno can play the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Wizkid too. I think he grew up in church. He
Mm-hmm.
can play
Okay,
musical
continue.
instruments. I think Burna Boy. I'm not sure. But I think Burna Boy
I
can
think
play.
Burna Boy can play music and he
Yeah,
can read music.
Brymo.
Okay.
Yes, Brymo can play. I mean, there are quite a few of them that can play musical
Yeah,
instruments.
but can
I
they?
can't. I can't think. Arya Star can play the guitar.
But can they actually sit down and
Write
write and
music.
compose
Maybe
a
tech.
song?
Maybe
A
techno.
song. hmm
Maybe techno.
I'm not talking. I'm talking of a song that has different instruments.
Mommy, but like you have to think about first of all, you have to think about what the crowd would like. So I feel like most artists nowadays look at what the people will want to hear. So it's not mostly I want to sing about was no back in the day was more of I want to sing about how I feel about the society and then they're writing about it or discrimination or people dying in well people dying in places. But like now artists my like generation of artists they want to sing about what they think the people want to
But
listen to.
what are they talking about in their songs? Eh? I
All of
mean,
their songs
what most of their songs?
have meaning.
Oh, do they
Yes, they
really?
do.
Do they
Let's
really?
switch. Okay, looking at the Afrobeat aspect. Let's switch to pop, hip hop, rap. They have meaning.
It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing that, I mean, I think music is I don't want to say it's crude now, but
Mm,
yeah, I know that. I mean, there's always this thought that sex sells, and therefore you find out that music now
true,
is more
true.
of
I agree with that point.
the the sexual activity as against when I was growing up, as against the the concept of love. You know, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, there's songs that we sang then that I would.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's
I was
songs
about
with
to talk.
there
Say
were
that.
songs about then that were sung that are a bit iffy, but today's songs. Oh, I asked. I
Mm,
mean, when I will ask people that
but
why
there were songs that you sang back in the day that were similar to songs that we're singing now.
I
It's
said
just that maybe ours is more like in your face.
thank you.
That is the only difference. Aside that, it's still the same thing.
Well, if it's in your face, right?
It's
Then
still
it's
the same. Like when I mean, like it's still the same thing you're listening to. Just that it's more in your face. But that's just the only difference. It's still the
I
same
think
thing.
I think we should look at. I mean, the way I see it, right, is that we should look at the genre of music because it's evolved. You
It
know,
has evolved.
we had soul music,
It
and then
still
from
do.
soul music we had R&B. From R&B, I mean, of course, there's in between other connotations of
There's
music
neo soul. There's
like
neo soul.
jazz.
There's jazz,
Yes, but I think
reggae.
yeah, even reggae.
Different forms.
You
Even
know,
reggae has changed.
but
You know,
you
but
see, the thing is, right, during my time, because there were different genres of music that we could listen to, right? There was hip hop. But then I think I think the problem, I don't want to call it a problem,
that's
but
the
I
problem.
think what happened is when rap came in and
Rap.
yes, people began to rap and they were rapping. I mean,
When did rap start?
I really can't give it a time or
I
a
don't think
date.
rap is the
But you see,
problem though.
when you have things like gangster rap, what is gangster rap?
Rap is good.
Yes, I
Rap is
mean,
good.
Queen Latifah would used to tell them that look, even in rap, you can't. Rap used to talk about women in a very unpleasant manner,
Yeah.
and Queen Latifah told them that no, you can't do that.
A lot of artists came out and were
But
true to a lot of female rap artists came out and
they're the same thing.
said the same
I mean, how
thing.
can you
Yeah.
call a woman shorty? How can you call a woman shorty because what?
What's
What does
that?
that mean?
What's that?
That's rap. That,
Shorty.
yes,
Like you're my shorty.
yes. Now, I mean, what do they mean by that? Is it because she's short? They believe that women cannot be
No,
as
like you're my shorty, like you're my like if you say you're my shorty, like you're my babe, you know. Like not short of you. Very good. No short, like you're my shorty. Like hey, like SHAWTY.
I know.
I'm my shorty.
Me, I saw it. I mean, my saw real, but me, I thought they were referring to the size of the woman. That the woman is
Six
short.
six six.
That's why I'm sorry. I'm old school, so I don't understand some of these slangs.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I agree with you, Sha. Rap a lot of rap
Was crude.
was crude. A lot of rappers. Even Snoop says it. He says that rap was they had different even that different forms of there are different people that are rapping different kind of rap. Like even TLC, their music was so different from the norm, and the way they dressed, everything was so different. They came out with like, oh, we're going to be like they were like a group that just came out and said they're going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody had their own different style, their own different kind of way of making music and showcasing their creativity in their music. So I just feel like times have evolved, and what maybe back in the day, if people like to listen to the words of the music,
Oh,
and if
definitely,
people not just the words, but you also like the beat, but you listen more to the words of the music. And then
definitely.
at some point, it became at some point moving way towards other generations, like moving past your generation and to my generation, millennials, my generation, and the rest. We
And
we
then
we we prefer listening. We just enjoy the beat. We just if it's a nice beat, we're good. And then but nowadays, we actually do want to hear lyrics. Like, we want to know what you're saying.
that
So the times have changed from before.
yes, okay,
Before we just love we just play a good beat and we're good. But now times have changed. We actually want to hear what you're singing.
thank you.
We want to
Because
listen to the
that is
lyrics.
another point I want to come to. The fact that you can't even hear the lyrics. Somebody is singing, and I'm asking, what did he say? What did she say? Because I don't hear the lyrics. They're just making noise. You know, that's what
It's
I
not
feel.
music anymore, it's
I'm
noise.
sorry, but I'm being very
It's noise.
truthful, you know? And I mean, what is that? What is it? Um, You, you're singing, you're supposed to. Music is an emotion.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an emotion. And you can only get an emotion if, number one, the beat is right and then the wordings are right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because music should be able to tell you what is wrong with society. It's supposed to,
Make you feel good.
yeah, make you feel good,
And it
but at the
does make
same
us feel
time,
good.
music has
That's it.
been known to change certain things. It's like it has created a movement. You know,
That's true.
movements have come from
That's
music,
true.
and I don't think.
Like I'm like Kendrick Lamar, like us, and then like us, and then like us.
Okay,
That was a whole movement, though. That was a whole, and in our generation, just to let you know that.
yeah, but
Well,
you see,
moving on.
when I'm talking of a whole movement, I'm talking of a whole movement where change comes. Like, I mean, Bob
Okay, wait, it
Dylan.
was just a trend,
Bob
anyways.
Dylan did sang a lot about the Vietnam War, and I mean,
Mm,
after I mean that war lasted for how many years, and at the end, and so many young Americans were killed during that war, and after a while, they realized that
mm,
it wasn't a war that they wanted to pursue anymore, and they needed to get that out, and they used their music to get that message out. You know, so
that's true, sure.
music can bring about change. And that's what people nowadays don't seem to realize. Music can bring about change. And I think we need to start pursuing that. But then, like, it's all about the Benjamins.
But really, music is a profession if you think about it.
Hmm.
You have to make profits because you're putting in money to make the
That's why I
music.
said.
So you have to make profits.
That's why I
So
said
you have
music
to
is
make your
about
money.
It's all about the Benjamins. That's what I said.
It
It's all about the
is.
Benjamins. So
It's a profession at the end of the day. You have to make money.
at the end of the day,
It's
right?
work.
You have to make money, and if social music is not what is trending right now, they will. I mean, if it's not going to bring in the money, so why bother?
Why
Uh-huh.
bother?
So I understand. Music
Yeah.
has changed. It has
Music has
evolved.
changed. It has
It has
definitely
evolved.
evolved.
I wish it could be more impactful, as against
Some
more
people
of a
sing
yeah.
impactful music though.
Yeah, but I wish it could be more
It's
impactful.
not just mainstream. That's the problem. Some people they sing impactful music, but it's not just mainstream. Mainstream singers are the ones that are getting more clicks, more likes, more
Hmm.
that. But
Hmm.
the people that are like at the end singing their this thing, impactful music are not they're not mainstream.
I
So
know, I
it's
know.
unfortunate.
So
Who's your favorite artist?
ah,
But like from Afrobeats,
let
old
me
school, new
let me.
school,
I mean,
all genre.
I can mention so many of my favorite artists, right? I mean, growing up, I loved Nina Simone. I loved Luther Vandross. I loved Shalimar. I loved so many different old school music. Then coming to
New school.
um, music now. Oh, my favorite artist is Burna Boy. She's yes, I love
She loves
Burna.
Burna
I
Boy.
love Burna because I I think sometimes he sings and his words have meaning, and I like that. I like to listen
Mm.
to his words. Yeah, his own is not just about beats.
Yeah, yeah, Trisha,
Yeah,
Trisha, Trisha. I agree. I think for old school, well, I will not say that far old because I don't really know a lot of artists in your time,
yeah.
but I'll say Nina Simone because
Mm-hmm.
I know a few of her
Songs,
songs.
yes,
Aretha Franklin
yes,
because
definitely,
I know a few of her songs. It
definitely.
was Whitney Houston during your time.
Well, Whitney Houston was she cut across.
She cut across,
She
didn't
cut
she?
across,
So I'll
yes,
say Whitney Houston because I know a lot of her songs.
and you like them,
And I love almost all
all
of
of
her
her songs.
songs.
Okay.
Then for now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to a lot of mainstream. I don't listen to a lot of mainstream artists. I don't listen to a lot of Afrobeat artists. like
Okay.
that anymore. It's more of gospel music
Okay.
I listen to at the moment. But the only artist that I know I like right now, or artist, Fireboy,
Mm-hmm.
Thames,
Mm-hmm.
Fireboy and Thames. I think that's all. Like I can say, okay, I can listen to their songs from beginning to end. Like I can listen to their
What about,
albums.
is it Asha?
Oh
Your girl?
my ladies. Like, how can I forget Asha?
Because I know she loves
I
Asha.
love Asha. Like Asha, I've seen Asha twice.
Yes.
Ah,
And that's why I was wondering why she didn't mention Asha. Because
that
she's
was
seen
a
her live.
mistake.
She's gone to
I've
her
seen her
concerts.
twice. So no. I love Asha. Another person that can listen to that whole and she, you know what? Asha sang about about
I know.
social
I know
change.
she did.
See, one artist like I mentioned. Thank God we're not doing bad. But yes. So
So I
so the
think
from what you have said, music has evolved.
no, music has evolved. And I wouldn't say, I would just say that I wish music Afro beats could get into a more socially, politically, and I know we can't
I
have,
don't think they
I
really
know we
want to
can't
be
have the
political.
fellas of the past. I know
Mm.
we've gone past that, but I wish we could have somebody that could, sing a song with a beat that is socially and politically motivated. Let me put it that way. That's, it talks about things that are happening within our society. And it's
Mm.
also fun. So that's basically it.
There we have it. There we have it. Music has evolved. Old school, new school, it's all been involved. And thank you. If you've gotten this far to our point, this point of our video, make sure you like the video
Yes. Subscribe.
and leave your comments about like
Yeah.
what kind of music do you listen to, old school, new school, like who is singing something that is politically moving or motivating. Leave a comment
maybe I don't know all the new school politically motivated artists.
because I'm not mainstream.
So let me know.
So let's
And
and
let
let
me
us
know who your favorite old school music artists are, and let me see
if you have any
yeah.
connections with some of the
Mm-hmm.
ones that she may know. But yeah, thank you so much for coming all the way to this end of this video, for watching. Sorry, to the end of this video, and don't forget to tune into our videos. It comes out every week. And thanks so much for watching. We have been
Across the Gap.
bye.
Bye.